What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another video. Alright, so this time I was gonna do a video for the Game Awards, like going over the nominees, who I had, what picks I had, who I thought should have been nominated, just your normal like award stuff. But then Fraxis drops this huge bomb. And like they dropped this announcement of this massive expansion for Civilization 6. I've played a bit of Civ 6, but it didn't really catch me. I saw some of the DLCs look pretty cool. They're kind of expensive, but they look pretty cool. But this expansion looks like it's gonna shake up the game in a big way. I don't know if it's gonna be as big as how Brave New World shook up Civ 5. But it definitely looks to shake up the game. So the new expansion is called Rise and Fall, and they released a trailer for it, which is probably the opening cinematic. And yes, Sean Bean does die again in this one, because one of the big things about it is, Sean Bean's in it, great. And guess what? He dies in the opening cinematic of the game. Last time I saw something like that was back in original Tomb Raider when that Poncho guy dies. But yeah, he dies in this one too. But yeah, so it's gonna come in with some huge changes to the game. So first off, they're bringing in Golden Ages. So Golden Ages are coming back, and they're bringing Dark Ages with them. So kind of like high and low. So Golden Ages, they have both Golden Ages and Dark Ages have their own advantages and disadvantages. Dark Ages, they have their disadvantage. They didn't really go into detail with it, but they do have their disadvantages. But the more Dark Ages you get, the more likely you'll have a heroic age, which is like a comeback. So basically, for civs that are just kind of having horrible luck, and they're getting Dark Ages, they could get a heroic age, which will actually give them a boost to 3 victory conditions, which is ridiculous. Golden Ages also give you a similar boost, but only to 1 victory condition. So that's actually pretty interesting. And the more Golden Ages you get, the harder it is to get more. So, I can see now people are gonna be like zigzagging. People are going to purposely just be crappy to their people so they can go into a Dark Age, so they can get a heroic age, so they can get a boost, which is kind of broken, but interesting because there's a lot of disadvantages to having a Dark Age. The next thing is there's rumored to be 8 new civs. Now, I'm not sure on that. I think I heard it was PC Gamer. I forgot who said it was going to be like 8 new civs and 9 new leaders. So that means that we're going to have another civ like Greece that has dual leaders, which is interesting. I want to see who that is, New units, new buildings, new Casus Belli, which is basically, Casus Belli is like a reason to go to war. Tons of new content, which is awesome. Hopefully we get some new maps. Let's see what else. New text, loyalty. So loyalty is a thing in the game. So like if you played Civ 5, the easiest way to explain it would be, if you played Civ 5 with mods, would be cultural I can't think it was a mod like cultural disruption or cultural distribution. It was a mod, and basically the more cultural influence you had over an area, justified if you owned it or not. And if another civ had more culture than you, they could literally flip tiles and sometimes whole cities away from you. And they're basically bringing that into Civ 5. That's what the loyalty system is. So your cities now have a loyalty meter or something like that. And basically the amount of loyalty they have is based on if you're in a Dark Age or a Golden Age, or how you treat them, how many, what kind of amenities they have, how much housing they have. Basically, if they're treated well, they'll be loyal to you. If they're treated crappy, or if you're poor, or if you just having bad luck with the game, they'll be disloyal to you, and they'll be more likely to want independence. And they can actually become an independent city. I don't know if they become like a city state, but cultural diffusion is the name of the mod. That's what it is. I don't know if they'll become a city state like in cultural diffusion, but they'll be like a free city. And of course, you know, a civ can come and just take it over with their military. Or if that civ is doing better than you, they can actually flip that city to their side. So that's pretty interesting. They're also introducing governors. So governors are basically these, like, they're not great people, but they're kind of like great people. And you can create up to 6 or 7. I think it's 6 or 7 of them you can create. And you can disperse them to your cities. And each one of them has its own kind of specialization. So if you have, like, this city is specializing in science, you can make a governor that specializes in science to boost that city's output and to keep it loyal. Another thing, the governors also can level up. One thing about this is a lot of stuff has levels. Like, it's deep. Like, oh, you can make governors, but also the governors have levels. And as they go up in level, they can do more things. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. There's even governors you can send to city-states. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Are you going to be able to take control of it? Is it going to make it more, like, easier to levy their military? I'm not quite sure, but it's interesting, to say the least. So, there's a new alliance system. So there is 5 different types of alliances. There is military, which is your basic, oh, you protect me, I protect you. There's a science alliance, which basically is kind of like if you remember scientific agreement, research agreements from Civ 5, it's like that, just without the money. Cultural agreements, which they hadn't go into any detail on, religious alliance, and diplomatic alliance. So I'm thinking that's probably involving money or something. But that one is interesting. So there's also levels to those. Like level 1 science will give you like more. Will give you +1 science for your trade routes. Level 2 science alliance will give you tech boosts, intermittent tech boosts. Level 3 will give you something else. I'm like, this is deep. This sounds deep. I'm like, there's levels to the levels. I'm like, okay. So the alliance system is in, and emergencies. So kind of like there's no global council, there's no world council, which I mean I guess kind of sucks. But emergencies are kind of like the world council. So when something big happens, like when a civ converts a holy city to their religion, or when somebody drops a nuclear bomb, when something big happens, then an emergency can be triggered where there's a certain time period that a certain number of civs have time to strike at the target, and they'll actually get money and boosts to target this person to kind of like balance out the game. So it's like if this one person is just doing really good in religion and they start converting people's holy cities, then 3 other religious civs will get bonuses to try to stop this one civ so that the game can balance out. And it makes it harder because if you are the civ that is doing really good, other civs can gang up on you. Or either if you are doing badly, then you can gang up with these other people on the person who's doing good. Which is interesting. The only problem is if you don't fulfill your attack or whatever the thing is, because they didn't tell us what it was, then you will, then the target will get the bonuses that you're supposed to get. So if you don't do it in a specific amount of time, then you're screwed. So yeah, that's interesting. Then of course there was a timeline system. So now there's going to be like an illustrated timeline of your civ. I'm not quite sure how this works because they said it worked with the whole historical milestones. Like You know, like if you are the first Civ to do this, if you're the first Civ to circumnavigate the globe, if you're the first Civ to discover some natural wonder, like it'll have like a timeline of events, of cool things that happen with your Civ. So I'm like, this sounds really big. I know I'm probably missing some things because I haven't read all the articles about it. But this sounds amazing. Like, it sounds huge. It sounds deep. And hopefully there is as many Civs as they say they're going to be in there. But, I mean, it sounds cool. I want to check this out. If you want to check it out, talk about it in the comments. Tell me what Civs you would like to see in the new expansion. And as always, folks, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, keep it real.